Well, hello everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to FanCast, episode 32. I am your host, Jeremy, known as Skullcap1218. I'm still working on that beginning part. I had it really good at the fact where it's like, that nobody knows in the gaming community, but I kind of like the fact that I say Jeremy, known as Skullcap1218. 1218, Skullcap1218 means I'm a gamer. My gamer tag if you want to look me up on PlayStation 3. And I have my co-host finally. I have my co-host vman, the layback gamer. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Only if they say nothing. Nothing in big news because I wasn't really looking because I had to work at a real world job. But the only thing that was interesting to me on Tuesday that came out was Deadpool the movie. It's a great romantic movie. I am that is going to be my movie for Valentine's Day all the time, like no matter what. Every time Valentine's Day happens with a girl or without, I'm gonna pop that in because it's a love story. It's romantic. It's adventurous. It's exciting and funny too. I really enjoy them. I know you have that movie, right? You picked that up. I have to pick it up this week. If I gotta see how my funds are. So you got the movie, right, V-Man?
Yeah, I got it Tuesday.
Was there any like collector's pack or was it just a regular?
Yeah, just a regular.
Don't cry, it's okay. I know. Well, out here in Nevada, we have Fry's, and sometimes they have like a collector's pack. But I think Best Buy might have one. I don't know. It just depends how much more effort the company or whatever wants to put more effort into it. But if they have like cool deleted scenes and stuff, yeah. Oh yeah, they have some bloopers. I'm kind of wondering how that would go on there. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is so funny, so I bet he like messed up a lot of things, especially when you try to get his point across as Deadpool. I mean, trying to be Deadpool is kind of complicated enough. I believe. Now, before we talk, spoiler alert for everything. I know the movie's been out for a week. We're going to be talking about Captain America Civil War here. Our favorite parts and everything. But we're going to talk about we were battling, wasn't that episode 31 or 30? We were battling V-Man versus Skullcap, and we picked our teams, and I won because I have the Hulk on my team. And the whole thing is we were trying to figure out why are we fighting. So we're at this episode of trying to figure out why are we fighting. So V-Man, why are we fighting? Was it your fault or was it my fault? Or was it just nothing? Or was it really stupid? I think I have a dumb thing. But do you have a reason why we're fighting? And I know it's probably going to be dumb.
Yeah, what was your thing?
You don't have a thing? Not really? Well, my thing...
I was like...
Wait, what?
Mine was like I started off working for the government.
The what?
Government.
The government? So we're fighting because of the government? So you're pro-government and I'm not pro-government? Is that why we're fighting?
Yeah, at the moment I was. But I come out after I finished... And after I beat you, kind of like... So then I kind of like changed my mind and left the government.
Wait a minute. You fought me because you were defending the government, and then you're like, you know what? Kicked his ass. I left. It's like, there's like no purpose of fighting to begin with. You're just being a bully. You started a fight for no reason at all. Man.
No, I just started a fight because...
I thought you were my friend.
I was doing something good for the government. But by the time I fight over, I realized I was being played by the government, like, I stopped fighting.
Oh, okay. So basically you came on my side then. You don't work for the government anymore, so you're on my side because I don't work for the government. So is that what you're saying? You kicked my ass to teach me some lesson of being against the government, but now you're against the government, so you're really on my side now. Did you realize that? Did you realize that you beat up your own teammate? Huh?
Yeah.
I guess you have no heart. Well, my dumb theory was that I have a PlayStation 4. Well, not in reality, but I mean in the fake world. I have a PlayStation 4, and for some reason, you needed some funds for your Xbox One. So you took my PlayStation 4 and traded in the Xbox, and we're roommates. So I asked you, what the hell? And you're like, well, I want to play this Uncharted game or whatever game that comes out that's only for Xbox One. And then I'm like, well, fine, then give me the money. He's like, oh, I don't got no money. And then we have a big out because you do not touch another man's console system unless you ask and we agree on, but you didn't. You just took. So it's you basically started the whole thing. Or we fought over a girl, but that's unlikely. Or, but I kind of like the console thing because, we're at console war. Things like which one's better, Microsoft or Sony, but you ended up taking it for no reason at all because you were short on funds just to trade in it at GameStop, even though they kind of screw you on that one even more. So that's why we're fighting, because you trade my PlayStation 4 where I had all the progress on there for Battlefront, and you just destroyed that for an Xbox One. Do you feel proud of yourself for doing that to me?
Then I'm on to get. Must have been a pretty good game.
What game would you have at Xbox One? I mean, I don't really know. I mean, except for like Halo that only goes on there. What would be the game for you for Xbox One that's only for Xbox One that you traded my system for, or you don't know?
It's probably like Gears of War.
I kind of see that, but you shouldn't have done it. You're a jerk. I kicked your ass. I took your girl. But then I gave it back. I gave her back. I gave her back because she didn't want nothing to do with me. Well, that's our reasons. Is either he defends the government to where he kicks my ass somehow, and then he doesn't go with the government, so he's on my side anyway, or we go to the fact that he took my PlayStation 4 for an Xbox One. I like that one better because the government thing has nothing to do with superheroes at all. That's how I look at it. But touch on another man's system, it does. So, now we had a situation that vman had a thought. What would happen, say for instance it was vice versa in the Civil War. Oh, remember, spoilers. Instead of Tony signing the agreement, what if Cap agreed with the government, he signed it, and he wanted Tony to do it, but then Tony says, no, I'm for freedom. Would you guys still be on that person's side? Are we on sides because of the agreement, or are we on sides because of the character? I am on sides of whoever's on the right of freedom of everything. I mean, the government's great, fine, of putting in line, but, in their world, they're only there to shoot and ask questions later because all they care about is cleaning up after themselves and not getting in trouble of too much or whatever. There is a secret society that they just don't want to engage in the real world, and then whatever story they stick out, that's what they stick, but that's not really the true story. That's what I don't like. I don't like liars. I don't like thieves. I just don't like backstabbers, and that's what it is, backstabbers. So, and then I'm for freedom. I'm for the people. I understand people need to be in check, but I am for people that, have freedom to think for themselves than just, here's a piece of paper, think for me. That's the thing I don't like. Even though I thought about this the other day, we kind of did that already. Jobs. We signed an agreement saying, think for me and I will do what you ask. So basically we signed our rights anyway. So I'm on, okay, if Iron Man switched to Team Freedom, I'm with Iron Man. Whoever's on Team Freedom, I am with. Now, what is your opinion? Everything's fine. If you still want to be with Cap for government, it's all good. Everybody's different. What do you want? V-Man, that is you. We can't have dead air. We can't have dead air. No space in time. Hey, I was singing, even though it was lousy.
Yeah, I probably have Iron Man stuff.
Copyright. Yeah, good boy. Good man. Good boy. I'm sorry. Now, so you're on. Now, wait a minute. Are you on Iron Man side because you like the character, or you're on Iron Man side for freedom? And what do you want? Because you were on Iron Man side for the government.
Pretty much like both.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter where Iron Man's at. You just be on his side no matter what, right? You trust Tony.
Yeah, he's like sometimes reckless. I kind of do trust him.
Well, maybe that's the reason why you do trust him, because he's reckless. But hey, you know what? I'm all for it. It's all cool. whatever you think, because everybody's different. I'm not gonna expect you to say, "Oh, you're just such a traitor. I thought you were gonna be on Team Freedom like me," but no, it's all good. So, all right, so that's all it. Anybody in the comments below, what do you think? Would you be on the same character side if he switched sides, or would you be on the Team Freedom or Team Government? What would you want? Now it's time for the movie. What did you think about that movie? I thought it was an amazing superhero movie by far this year. I know Deadpool was amazing, but come on, I've been already hooked into the Marvel Studios cinematic universe, so I was all amped up for this movie. I mean, just like with the Avengers first one, I was super hyped up, and I want to see more of the Avengers now. Everything in here was just amazing. I loved it. I was not bored once. Now, that's a Batman versus Superman that you want. You don't want to be bored through the whole movie. You want to be engaged, even though they're talking, engaged to everything that they do, just to get to the point of what they're doing and then continuing on. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I like the movie.
That's an amp up that it was okay. Well, that's good.
No, I don't think they actually fully said, like, you're giving up your rights.
Really? What do you think this piece of paper said? He's basically saying, we control you. Yeah, when Secretary Ross, even though he's the one who made the Hulk, he made the Abomination, but he gets to be secretary. The way how he was saying it, he was basically saying, you will not think unless we tell you to think. You will not take a crap unless we tell you to take a crap. Didn't you hear how he said, he's like, we don't want no, like, they make all the decisions. If they didn't feel like they're needed, they would be off to the side where they take out the person that they want to take out. Even though the Avengers are for saving, where the government, they just want to wipe you out. It doesn't matter. That's how I look at it. I mean, that's what they're basically saying. Yeah, they want to put him in control tap, but what if something was needed? I mean, they, without their decision, it's like working for a company. When you cannot think, you cannot have a decision unless your boss tells you what to do. That's basically what that piece of paper is. They signed an employment, so if anything went wrong, they would have been in trouble and jailed and all that BS. They just want to make sure that they just are on a leash, their weapons and stuff. That's basically what Ross wants all along with the Hulk. His own army, his own Hulk, and everything else. So, what is your favorite character in the whole movie?
It's kind of a crowd scene. Spider-Man and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't she awesome? I liked, she amped up from Age of Ultron. She was all with her hands all in the air, and she was getting a lot better. Like, when you get training, you get a lot better. But it sucked what happened with Crossbones when he was blowing himself up. If she didn't do anything, everybody would have been dead, right on the ground. And then I bet you including that building. But she tried to shove it up. It just missed, and she hit a building. So either way, if she didn't do anything, they would have blamed the Avengers. Since she did stuff, they blamed the Avengers. No matter what, they want somebody accountable for. That's the only reason why everything was out of whack, I believe. So yeah, Scarlet Witch, she was amazing and hot. I really did adore the new characters. I really liked all of them. They're all even for me, but I really liked the new Spider-Man. They did Peter Parker correctly. I mean, I grew up with that type of Peter Parker where he stutters, and then when he's trying to keep a secret and keep his mind. That was kind of funny when Tony shows. It was like, you're strangely attractive Aunt May, and it's like, wow. It's like they basically shoved that in there because all their Aunt Mays were older, because Aunt May in the comics is an older woman, where this one she's like a middle-aged woman. So yeah, I think they were trying to keep up with the date with people. There are a lot of younger aunts and uncles. I'm one of them. So I kind of understand what they were going for, but it was kind of funny how Tony just shoved that out there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let me see. I should have had more details and all that. I liked the Black Panther. I want to see more of T'Challa. That he was really cool. it was his origin story, like how everything came to be when he became Black Panther and all that stuff. His movie's coming out in a couple of years. I can't wait for that. I think Andre said it was for February 2018, so before the Avengers 3. Oh, Infinity Wars Part 1. This is going to be awesome. So what'd you think about the whole argument that they were having? I mean, oh no, wait. Before we even do that, what did you think of Agent 13, the blonde? Agent Carter's niece? I didn't even think of that until she said something at the funeral. It was very sad that Agent Carter passed away, but it was kind of come and go because, the last time we saw her, she was already, at her deathbed. But I thought it was very cool that, oh, look, another Carter in line. And then Steve was like, as soon as, she said that, he's like, I'm interested. Like, his look, he's like, I am interested. I think the reason, there were some people who were saying that, they didn't have a love thing behind there. If they would have spoke more, maybe they would have a thing. But the way I would look at it, Steve is having a hard time trying to, what he believes in, what people believe in. Should he follow his own way? Will he get in trouble? Should he get in trouble? And then when the Carter Agent 13 said, what Peggy said about, stay in your guns, keep your both feet down. That spoke to Steve, and that's why he needed somebody more. And they kind of connect right there, I believe, even though he doesn't know her that well. But they connected. One Carter for another, right? But isn't that kind of gross though? Like, if you really think about it, he's actually in his teens or 20s, but in reality, he's in his hundreds. So isn't that like a dirty old man trying to go after a young woman? I mean, come on. I like that scene also when Bucky, at the part where they're trying to get away, and they have Bucky and the what is his name? Falcon. Wait, what is this guy? What? Sam, right? Sam and Bucky in the car, and he's like, "Move your seat up." No, I love that part. But the cool part was when he finally kissed Agent 13, and then both guys are looking like, "Yeah, you dog." I thought that was funny. What'd you think of that part?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, he's like, "Come on, guys, come on, we're at war here." I thought that was pretty. So what was your favorite scene out of the whole thing? I know I'm bouncing all around, but I'm trying to think of certain scenes that I liked and everything. What was your favorite scene out of the whole? I liked the fight. It's sad that they were fighting, but it was amazing how they did that. How each of them equal each other out, and they left with bruises and stuff. I mean, what'd you think about all that?
Yeah, it's probably the fight when Spider-Man came in.
When there were what? You were mumbling.
When Spider-Man came in.
Oh yeah, you mean when his suit? Yeah, you know what? That's another cool origin thing. When Tony met Peter Parker, he only had goggles on and a regular red and blue suit. But then when he met Tony and he showed up, his 90s, I think it was a 90s feel, even though people says it's 60s feel. 90s feel look Spider-Man, and then he was geeking out everything. That was a great part for Spider-Man. He was a kid. He was like, Cap, big fan. Sorry I had to beat you up, but big fan. And then when he was kicking Bucky's butt, he's like, "You have a metal arm? Cool!" I really liked that part. He was geeking out all of everything that was happening, especially when Giant Man came in and he was twirling around. Remember the part in Empire Strikes Back where the one thingy went around the other thingy? I thought that was funny. Did you think that was funny? Am I the only one smiling?
I think he said it like that because I don't think they were allowed to mention Star Wars.
What? Yeah, they were. They owned Marvel. Disney owns everything, so they could have done that. But it was funnier how when you're trying to remember something and you're trying to remember the vehicles, you're trying to remember what they did. It's more funnier that way and plus he's a kid, he's trying to remember other things and he's trying to do things at the same time while you're trying to remember things. So it's like how I would talk oh, remember that part where that guy did this part, but he did it that way, and you trying to remember certain things. That's what I appreciate more. They could have mentioned he said Empire Strikes Back, didn't he not? So really he basically said a Star Wars name anyway. But when he was trying to remember things while he was doing it, and plus he was trying to say it under cognito. you okay there? Are we okay?
Huh?
Are we okay?
Yeah.
Okay. He was trying to say it under cognito so he won't let everybody know. Oh wait, I saw that movie. Oh, I know what part he's talking about on the ice planet thingy. So he was trying to say it like secretly, maybe, but maybe nobody was really listening. But I liked it. I like how they did it that way. What else was going on in them? See, this is the reason why I was supposed to refresh again, because for a whole week I'm trying to remember things. Tony, this, that.
No,
Hey,
but
huh?
also, I think it's also this one woman, like, I guess that making Tony feel, Iron Man feel guilty because, like, she basically blaming him for her son dying.
Oh yeah, that was the part I wanted to talk about too. Yeah, I know. It's like you don't really think of the consequence. I kind of agree with Ross a little bit. You don't understand the consequences until it comes into your face. It's like you're trying to avenge. You think everybody goes home happy, but then there's some losses. Like, remember the part when they were showing about Hulk where he was bouncing around? We're like, oh yeah, it was awesome when he did in the Avengers movie. But then when somebody was actually filming it and in the way of debris when he was hopping on buildings, yeah, you kind of look at it a different way. So the way how I look at it with who's right and who's wrong, like with Jeremy Johns said it perfectly, like what Donatello said in part 2 of Secret of the Ooze. He's like, he's right, they're both right. I like that part. I like when he referenced that, because I'm like, yeah, he's kind of right. They're kind of both right, because you know what? You got to be trained to be safe as you're trying to save at the same time, so people on below are not getting hurt. But then at the same time, you got to have your own mind. You got to think your way, because you have heart in your own way, where everybody else, they're only think one thing, just keep it under wraps, do it way how we want to do it, and all that other crap. So I think Iron Man and Captain America are both right in some way. So instead of just having a stupid Civil War, it wasn't stupid. I'm talking about like in the reality of the movie. But they could have, if they would have just talked, if Tony didn't have stupid pride, maybe they would have talked it out. They would have come up with their own piece of paper saying, you know what, we'll keep it under wrap. We'll keep it a cap on there. We'll train even harder, even better, even through the government if we have to. But we have our own mind. This gives us rights to be our own people. I think that they should have did it like that instead of just have a pride thing, because Tony was so passionate about that 16-year-old that, yeah, I get that. I understand that. I would have probably been more passionate about it too. Like, man, a kid died because he was trying to help people, and what we do, blew him up. I can't believe we did that. I mean, we were so unprofessional. But you know what? If Tony thought about it, maybe you should have some training things, more training than just being Tony Stark. He should have been Iron Man a lot too. All right, what?
Yeah, it looks like there's like about to, because it seemed like at some point Captain America was, I think, he said there had to be some stipulations when he was like, look like he was going to sign it, then he just walks away.
Wait, what? Oh, like just sign it, no questions asked when they were signing.
I think there had to be some stipulations first. It looked like Iron Man was ready to agree to it, and like they could have talked about it. And I forgot what happened, why, but then he just walked away. Like walking away from it.
Well, in the thing, remember when Steve was looking like, do you agree to this? And he didn't say, and Tony didn't say a word. He already agreed to it. Ross already talked to him. So he agreed to it, but without reading or thinking. See, when you're a part of a team, you gotta talk to people. That's what was problem with Tony when he made Ultron, when he did other things. He just doesn't talk to people because he has this stupid pride of his, thinking that he's the big shot, that, oh, every decision is correct with me, then nobody else is right. I'm always right. That's what it seemed like to me. But in this right, he was only half right, but he should have talked to Steve before, and his whole team, before even the government even stepped in. Should have had a thing. Should have talked to him and then to go to the government and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. You agreed to this. I mean, come on. We don't want a war on this. We're your helpers. We are not your servants. That's just, or you're like toys. So.
But did they even say he went to the government, or did they come to him?
Well, you're talking about with Tony, right? When they come to him, right?
Oh yeah, they probably could have came to him.
They did. Think about it. Tony's full of money, and plus maybe he contacted Ross. Well, it's probably a little bit of both. But before they talked to Steve, I think they both knew that Steve would be unreasonable, so they both basically enforced it, because that's how I look at it. Because it looked like Tony wasn't even at the table. He was like when mom and dad are like trying to punish the kids at the table. That's where Tony was. He's like the ma sitting in the corner while dad was talking. That's how I felt what it was. So yeah, I think they talked before. I mean, I don't know everything, but that's how I looked at it. Now, when they fought, after they fought in the plane thing, and Tony was like, when he was like wrong, and still his pride was like, oh, I was wrong, but I'm not gonna tell you about it. Remember that part when he's like, he found out that he was wrong and Bucky was under influence and all that stuff, and then he went to go help Steve where he was where that one guy was going to be at.
Yeah, but he did kind of like it was like it did like kind of like work together for a little bit.
Well, see, that's the part I'm talking about. It was kind of cool. Like, they were all fighting, and now Tony's like, oh, crap, I messed up, because he found out that this one guy was supposed to interview Bucky. Turns out he was dead, and then he thought Bucky was just insane anyway, even though he put a spell on him because he's programmed for that. So Tony decides, well, his way of saying sorry, let's go help Cap make sure that no other super soldier is going to be released. No other Winter Soldier. But what did you think about the end, where they showed the tape, and when I knew that crash happened, I'm like, oh crap, it's Tony's parents. Would you flip out, or would you be like, oh, but it wasn't Bucky? I mean, though somebody said was like he was holding so much emotion that's why he was partying hard. That's why he was being obnoxious, because he was trying to deal with his parents' death. But then he didn't fully do it until that tape. When you watch somebody's parents die, your own, loved ones die, yeah, you would kind of go and say, I understand that part now, where, okay, I get it. He's mad at Bucky. That's the only person he's going to be mad at. Would you let him go, or would you go full out Iron Man on him?
Yeah, I just go after him, because, especially if somebody killed your parents and you watching the video of them doing it, and they're like right there.
Oh,
you can't blame Iron Man for being one stuff before. I've done stuff before.
And you know what? I am not. I mean, I blame him for the other thing, for when they were in the airport, but not that part, because he knows Hydra did that to Bucky, but Hydra's not there right now. Bucky is the guy who actually did that, and I know he thought when he killed his dad, it sucked, but when he killed his mom, he went over and beyond. And I understand that. I think I would have did that to Bucky too. I would have went after his ass, because it's like, dude, you did this to my childhood. You took it away. And I know you're under influence, but right now, you're here. I'm kicking your ass. Now, I kind of was lost, like where they're on this road that looks like it's deserted. Why is there a camera on the road? I mean, is there multiple cameras, or is this just this one camera just sitting there for no reason? And then how did Simos get the tape? Why did they tape that scene? I mean, was Hydra trying to say that, hey, we killed Howard Stark and we'll kill you? I mean, is that why they kept the tape for so many years? I mean, why was that tape so important to record? I mean, I didn't understand that part. I was kind of lost. Maybe if I watch it again, maybe I get it, but I didn't understand that part. And then what'd you think of the ending? Oh, wait a minute. I asked you a question. Did you understand why they taped that dirt road, or was it even deserted? It looked deserted to me. What did you think?
There could be a setup, or maybe somehow they faked it and they died from other ones.
If it was a setup, that means they put multiple cameras. But if it was really a setup, why would Bucky shoot the camera in the first place? Excuse me. I think it was a secure area where Howard was supposed to transport that so they can watch him. And yet, you know what? I always answer my own questions. So that's probably what it was. He had super soldier serum. He had a lot. He had to ditch it somewhere. So he was at a secure road that he probably recorded. And then when they found out, they kept a tape of his death and stuff. But my thing is, if it was so secure, why wouldn't he tell anybody? I mean, unless Shield, maybe he found. You know what? He probably found out Hydra was behind it, and then they took it. That's why he probably transport that, because he had to find out that Hydra was in Shield, and they had to take care of Howard. That was probably the only reason why that nobody else was escorting him, because that was some high tech stuff, for just Howard and his wife to handle. So. Well, I answered my own question. This is the reason why I talk to myself. So, what did you think of the ending of the whole thing? Why Simos, like how he did all those things? He blew up, the one building. He set up Bucky. And then all he wanted to do was show Steve and Tony that tape. So then they can just be destroyed within. I mean, did you think that was kind of far-fetched? I mean, they're at an area of cold, and they thought, like, think about it. What if Tony didn't get that message that one doctor died, and Steve was right, and he didn't go help him? Then what? What would he have done? He shot all those super soldiers. He could have. I think they should have kept that one insane one that just went berserk. And then just shoot the rest of them. Keep that guy, just so they can have like tangled out. And then when Iron Man showed up, and unless he didn't show up, they would have showed the tape, or they would all fought that super soldier, and then afterwards or during, they would have showed the tape. And while Steve was fighting, Stoney is watching the tape. I think they should have did that way, maybe, but I don't know. It's kind of far-fetched for Tony himself just to show up, because he assumed that Tony was going to show up. Because he kind of knew that they weren't talking, so why would he believe Steve then, even though he didn't believe him then, So what did you think about the ending?
It was kind of stupid that all that just to get those two to work up to the Avengers.
Well, it wasn't too stupid, because, I think what happened in Age of Ultron... Wasn't Age of Ultron where his family died? Simos' family? Isn't that what they were talking about? Sokovia. So, if I said that name right. So, yeah, I understand he did that for a purpose. But what I didn't get was he made those two travel all that way for a stupid videotape. I think he should have did it a different way, where maybe at the airport or somewhere where, I don't know. I think he should have played it over an intercom or over like, oh, here's an email. Steve knew about it. Here's a tape of Bucky killing your parents. I think that way he should have did it, than just make him travel all the way over for nothing. I think that would have been stupid. Yeah, that would have been really stupid. They should, like, while they were fighting, at the airport, Simos would have sent him an email. He would have had it through his Iron Man suit, because he's Simos, if I'm saying his name right. And Steve would have got the message, and then he would have been like, what the F? And then he would have went after Bucky full force, while Black Panther was going after him. So Bucky would have been outnumbered. Bucky would have died, and then everybody else would have been... did you know if Bucky would have died, that the government would probably be on Tony's ass, like, man, you killed guy. We're going to have to jail your ass. I don't know.
But I think then, like you talk about, I think like the government's gonna be going after Black Widow.
Well, yeah, when Tony's like, ha, Dad's after you. See, that's what I'm talking about. They signed their rights of, if you go on a line, they just jail you. So really, they signed their rights over, and I don't like that. But yeah, he's like, oh, they're after you. He's like, well, you got to worry about other people, and basically everybody else is after. Because Tony made everybody fight, because he's the one who agreed to it before he even talked to anybody. So once again, his pride made him do things that he shouldn't have done, should have talked to the team, and now he has everybody kind of hating on him a little bit. So, yeah, I wonder where Black Widow went. Everybody was talking about it. Went into Agent 13. Black Widow, where's she at? But you know what? She's a secret agent, so dude, she can disappear anytime she wants. Maybe she'll catch up with in Wakanda. Like maybe because they're all still friends. Remember that message where he's like, Tony, if you still need us, we're still there. I mean, didn't he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no matter what, they're still together. It's just that we'll do the secret way, Secret Avengers style. I liked Stan Lee's of, oh, Tony Stank. Is Tony Stank there? Oh, man. Nobody's going to live that up. It's like when Steve said language. We're going to see shirts and posters of Tony Stank. I laughed at that part. That part was so funny. Out of all the cameos that Stan Lee done, like not with it just within the cinematic universe, not with just the Marvel Studios, but any Marvel movie when he popped in, which one's your favorite, or can you remember one? I have a favorite. That one's not my new one, but I like that one. Like my top 5 if I had a top 5. Do you have the time?
Yeah,
did you want me to?
I don't remember all. I don't remember all this. Okay,
well, no. Don't remember all. Remember the one that stood out to you. That you're like, you know what? That's a funny one. That one I like. I like what he did in that one. Like, do you have a favorite that like you can instantly remember? Like Stanley cameo. Go. Which one do you remember that stood out to you?
Yeah, I just want like the things.
No, I couldn't hear you. You were down too low. Go ahead. What?
I probably was like saying Tony Stank.
Okay. Mine was when he was the DJ at the strip club at Deadpool. Only tip your waitresses for only $20. Was it 2 for $20? Wasn't he selling for 2 for $20 or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I wonder if that's Stan Lee's way of saying, like, you know, if I wasn't in comics and I wasn't famous, I would have been a DJ at a strip club. Man, that's one way to see some women. I don't know if he would date any of them, but that's one way. I think that was my favorite one. What else? What else can we touch up that I can't think of at the moment? I don't know. You know, when did they ever have time for training? Because, you know, what was it? Wanda, Scarlet Witch, you know, she had more training than she had in Age of Ultron. I wonder when they had time to train. I mean, where do they train? Do they train in the Avengers Tower? I know in comic books and in TV shows they do, but in the movie, do they train in the tower? I mean, it's just my thing. Like, would you think would it make a difference if they get more training than what they were doing? Would everything not happen the way they did, or would it like happen worse if they got more training? I mean, more training would be okay, but if you disregard your training, and I'm not saying she did, but I'm just saying, like, would more training matter? I think it would if you just follow through on it, but it just depends on the person and what situation. Come on, if you got a nuke coming down your throat, what are you gonna go through? Your training, or are you gonna go through like your instinct and your gut? Because Tony Stark kind of did right in the Avengers when he stuck that in the black hole, that little hole there, just to get the enemy out. You know what? That's another. Oh wait, I'm overstepping my boundaries. So, what did you think? More training, or would it happen the same way anyway?
Because if you have more training up, it just becomes instant.
Wait, what?
If you train enough, it just becomes like an instant.
Yeah,
it just comes natural.
So you're saying like more training, it would have been less damage, right? Like not a lot of people would have died.
Yeah,
I agree to that. Like I was gonna step on my boundaries. That's another reason why I don't want no secret society or government controlling me. Did you remember in the Avengers where he's like, you know what? Our way of solving the problem, let's just nuke Manhattan. That's all we want to do. We just want to nuke, just erase the problem. That's all they want to do. They didn't want to solve it. So if they nuked that place, everybody would have been gone. Everybody would have been sick or out of the radius. And the hole would have been still there because it's shielded. It's like, you know, people in power with money, they just don't understand because they're not in the field. They're not there. That's why I call it like it's a corporation of a business, because the company is not in the field of what we're doing, and we're facing people every day. So that's why I don't want my rights taken away. I have rights, even though when I got hired, I signed my rights away. But I still got a brain. But yeah, that's the thing. So we're not coming up. We're coming up. So any conclusions of on the movie or anything else? Like, what do you want to see more coming out of this? I want to see more Spider-Man Homecoming. I can't wait for that. Tony's going to be in there. So it's a continuation. So everybody, we should relax. I don't believe Uncle Ben's going to die again. There's no spoiler there because you got 2 other movies saying that Uncle Ben's dead and comics. So relax. I want to see more Black Panther. I want to see continuation. No more origin stories. We see it. Maybe like a little flashback of like his training, of his being raised, of becoming a king. But I want to see continue on, and I want to see Steve Rogers like pop in once in a while. You know, like the Secret Avengers helping Black Panther out, even though he doesn't really need it. But I think that'd be kind of a cool way of seeing things. Ant-Man and Wasp. There's a movie. I want to see more of that. I don't know what more I want to see out of there, but I want to see him be more Giant Man. I thought that I was surprised. I forgot all about he was Giant Man. That Hank Pym was Giant Man in the comics. I forgot all about that. So, what more do you want to see out of these characters in the future movies?
You're probably more like that to see the connection between like Scarlet Witch and Vision, because it seemed like at some point it looked like you should act like a father to him.
Yeah, like a person. Yeah, I kind of see that. It was kind of heartbreaking where, you know, they were connecting, but then she had to put him in his place, saying, "I know you're powerful, but I'm kind of more powerful than you." It kind of sucked that way, but it had to happen. But yeah, hopefully in the Avengers 3 that, you know, when they get back together, that, you know, it's like, hey, let's catch up right now. So
looked like they were trying to reconnect at the end until they put it in the prison.
Well, remember, all of this was not really personal. It was just, you know, they let other people speak their battles, and now they have to fight. So yeah, they're not like, remember when Black Widow and Hawkeye's like, we're still friends, right? Even though we're fighting. And he's like, sure, why not? So they're still friends. Tony, well, I know Tony's not anymore. Just it'll take him a while to heal because Steve knew about his parents dying. That sucked, but come on, he thought he was saving him from the agony, but I think if he would have told him before, he would have got over it because Bucky wasn't there. But since Bucky was there, yeah, it's gonna take him a while to get over that. But yeah, it's nothing personal. It was just something they had to do, like what they believe in, and that's what happens when you believe in stuff. People fight, and then you just make up in the end. So I also like the part where he's Hawkeye was like, "Hey, my name is Hawkeye," or I forgot his name. See, I don't remember things. This sucks. But and then T'Challa is like, "I don't care." I like that part. Any other characters that you want to see develop or anything?
I'm more Spider-Man.
Yes. That. Hey, who's your favorite Spider-Man? Who do you think did it well? Your opinion. When you think,
this guy's the best.
Right. I think he's like the 90s style. He's supposed to be a kid. He's a smart guy. Did you see how old that computer he had? It looked like from the 70s or 80s. It was like really old. Got that from the trash, and he made it like almost brand new if you really think about it. I mean, he's a smart kid, so I appreciate it. Now, I do want to see more of that. Now, what do you think of Aunt May? Everybody's like, Aunt May is supposed to be old. I liked her. I like Marissa Tomei. I mean, she was hot. Between Scarlet Witch and her, I mean, they're like even for me. All right, what?
But she's stuck in her 50s. They're like making some like, she doesn't have to be like an old woman.
I know, but everybody wants to be authentic for the comic books. But through this day and age, I appreciate what.
Just like in his teens, like they should make her a little younger too.
What, like her teenage? No.
Come on, I didn't say teenage.
Well,
she have to be like the old woman.
Well, you made it sound like, she should make her even younger. Woo! Go 16 while Perk doesn't exist. That's what it sounded like when you were saying younger. No, I like when it, because it's what today's age is, where it's like back then when you're an aunt, you're like older. When you're an aunt today, you're like younger now. So I appreciate what they did. So I did like that. So I want to see, did you see what I showed you on Facebook? Did you see The Wrestler? I only saw parts of it, but Marissa Tomei was a stripper in that movie. And they showed where she was on the stage and they were saying, "Oh, this is what happens when she had to make ends meet when Ben died," and she was a stripper. And I really liked that. That was funny. So that's how Parker is getting through college. I mean, high school and school and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. Did I go off track again? No, I think that was about it. Nothing more. The next Marvel movie. Well, if you want to be technical, is X-Men Apocalypse, but Marvel Studios movie, Doctor Strange. Are you gonna go see that movie? I'm gonna go see because it's a continuation of everything or whatever. It keeps going more into it because Doctor Strange will be in the Avengers 3 because he's going to be dealing with another stone. I think it's the Soul Gem or something. I'm not really sure. But are you going to go see that? It's up to you if you want to. You don't necessarily have to, but I want to.
Yeah, I might. I probably gotta think about it.
If you want to look up more of Doctor Strange, they have an anime of Doctor Strange. They came out like 8 years ago or so. Too bad you're not here in Vegas. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe we can watch it when you come out here. I have the movie. You want to watch it when you come out here in June? If you remind me. I usually forget.
Okay.
So is that a yeah? Not okay. Do you want to watch it? Because it gives you a step of who he is, what happened to him, how he became what he became, and what was going on in there. That's all. It's his origin story. So would you want to watch that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you, everybody, for listening in and hanging out with us. You can catch me at you can catch me at the tweets at skullcap1218 on Twitter. Oh, excuse me. And my fan page at fan life Power Within. You know what? I gotta get these names correct. I really do. At Fan Life, Power Within, and you can catch vman at his tweets at Founded Virgil, and his fan page is vman the laid back fan. It's fan, right? It changed.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And his YouTube, he plays Uncharted, and he's gonna play Uncharted 4 pretty soon. So catch him at vman laid back fan. So until next time, be nice to each other. Have a good day. Oh, yeah. So if I can marry any person in the Marvel universe, I think I would try to marry Scarlet Witch. I think because you already have Black Widow. I want to see if I can date Scarlet Witch. I think it would be kind of cool. The only problem is she has mind power, so she can read my mind a lot. So if I was late to work, she's like, "Where were you?" I'm like, I was at work. Oh, yeah? And then it just clears that I was somewhere else. It's like, who is she? Nobody. I'm not a cheater. I'm just saying, like, a girl who has psychic ability powers and can read your mind, forget it. It's like, unless you're going to cheat on her and try to lie to her, it's not going to work. I'm the truthful guy, so I believe I would be not a perfect guy because nobody's perfect. I'll just be a reasonable person to where I think I can, hang out with her. She's like a person I can hang out with. In non-sexual ways, you know what? I'm trying to get out of the 80s style because all I grew up with was how many women you gotta go out with, how much sex you gotta have with them, and if you're like this many with women, you're a god or something stupid. Now it's like, you know what? Let's be friends. Let's have a relationship. Let's get to know each other because if you think about it, after your sex drive is gone, then that's it. Then what? If you don't like the person you're with, then what's the point of being with that person? So that's why I want to try to find like true love and a companion that you hang out with, like a best friend. No, I'm not talking about you, Virgil. I'm not like that. Okay, I'm not like that. All right, I like girls. Wait, why aren't you speaking?
I was letting you talk.
But I was saying that you were gay. Did you catch that, Drift? Anyway,
I thought you were saying that you were gay.
how am I gay if I want to marry Scarlet Witch? You know what? If I could be gay, that's kind of hard. There's a lot of sexy guys in the Marvel universe. Like you got the reasonable Captain America, and then Tony. If you want to be like dangerous and you want him to think everything of, and him going behind your back, then they got that. There's Ant-Man, but he shrinks, so he's kind of tiny. There is Hawkeye, but he's taken. I can't believe I'm talking about guys. I'm going full blown dude, guys. Going full blown dude. Do you have a man crush? Not gay, non-gay. Verge, really quick.
I have people I look up to, maybe like an Iron Man and like in Deadpool.
Did you say you had to look at? You would date Deadpool?
I said people I look up to, not date.
Oh, I thought it sounded like he said, I'll have to look him up, but I think I would date Deadpool. He goes both ways. Well, until next time, guys, have a good day. Bye.